Welcome to online class. This is level 2, lesson number 4. And this is part 1. Today we're going to review unit 6 and review units 1 through 5. You are probably watching this video between April 15th and April 26th. This video was filmed on April 15th. So let's do the warm-up. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. The date is April 15th, 2020. The weather is, well, let's check on the weather. The weather is sunny. The weather is sunny and the temperature is 55 degrees. That's the degree symbol. It feels cool. So, this is today for me. I want you to do today for you. What is today for you? And what is the date for you? Now let's look at the weather a little bit more. So this is the temperature for today. Right now is noon. It's 12 o'clock. So we're right here at 55 degrees. What is the temperature in the afternoon? What is the temperature in the afternoon? In the afternoon, the temperature is about 62 degrees. What is the temperature at 10 p.m.? What is the temperature at 10 p.m.? At 10 p.m., the temperature is 53 degrees. What is the temperature at 7 a.m. in the morning tomorrow? What is the temperature at 7 a.m.? At 7 a.m., the temperature is 43 degrees. Now let's look at the daily forecast. Today is Wednesday. What will the weather be on Saturday? On Saturday, the weather will be rainy. What will the temperature be on Thursday? On Thursday, the temperature will be between 44 degrees and 68 degrees. It will be between 44 degrees and 68 degrees. Or we can say, tomorrow the temperature will be from 44 degrees to 68 degrees. What is the temperature on Tuesday? On Tuesday, the temperature is from 52 degrees to 76 degrees. What is the weather on the weekend? What is the weather on the weekend? On the weekend, the weather is rainy. All right? So now, let's learn some words of the day. Event. An event is something special that happens. An event is something special that happens. It can be a party, a class, a wedding, or a holiday, or a concert. It can be anything that happens. It's usually important, so you remember it, so we call it an event. So an event can be a birthday party or a wedding or a concert. Postpone. Postpone means to do an event later. So let's say we have a party on Friday, but we have to postpone it. So originally we were going to have a party on Friday, but we postpone the party because, well, not because, but we postponed the party, so we move the party to a later time. We do an event later, we move it later. That's what postpone means. We postpone the party to Saturday. Reschedule. Reschedule just means do at a different time. Reschedule means to do at a different time. So postpone means to do at a later time. Oops. Postpone means to do at a later time. But reschedule means to do at a different time. It can be earlier or it can be later. So if I have an appointment, I can reschedule. I can reschedule to move it early or late. I want to reschedule my appointment to Wednesday. Let's see. I have an appointment on Friday. So when we reschedule, we can move something earlier or later. So I have an appointment on Friday. I want to reschedule my appointment to Wednesday. Here, I'm moving my appointment early. Or I can move my appointment later. Now my appointment is later. Okay, and then we have TBA and TBD. These stand for to be announced or to be decided. TBA, TBD. It just means we don't know. We don't know the time for the event. So we mark it as TBA or TBD. It's the same thing. Okay, we're going to start off in Unit 5. In Unit 5, we're talking about frequency and travel. So the question, how often do you do something? So let's say, how often do you study? How often do you study? How would you answer this question? Well, you would answer it by saying the number of times. So let's just say, how often do you study every week? How many times do you study in a week? How often do you study every week? We can say 1 time a week, 2 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week, 6 to 7 times a week. I'm writing it like this because there's another way to say 1 time. We can say once a week. We can say 1 time a week, or we can say once a week. 2 times, twice a week. 4 to 5 times, a few times. Oh, And if we say 1 to 2 times, if we say 1 to 2 times, we say a couple times. One to 2 times, a couple times a week. 1 time, once a week. 2 times, twice a week. 4 to 5 times, a few times a week. 6 to 7 times, several times. 6 to 7 times, several times a week. Now this, if you need to remember how to say this, 4 and 5 start with the letter F. A few is the letter F, starts with the letter F. 6 to 7 start with the letter S. Several starts with the letter S. 4 to 5 times, a few times. 6 to 7 times, several times. And now, the question, how long does it take? How long does it take to study? So, when we're talking about how long, we can still answer with this. But let's just change times to hours. One to 2 hours becomes a couple hours. Four to 5 hours becomes a few hours. Six to 7 hours becomes several hours. A couple hours, a few hours, several hours. I study for we can use for if we're talking about an amount of time. So we can say I study for a couple hours. I study for a few hours. I study for several hours. Or we can just say I study for 1 hour. I study for 5 hours. I study for 6 hours. I study for. So we can rewrite this question from how long does it take to how long do you study for? How long do you study for? I study for how many? How many hours? And now we have the frequency words. The frequency words are always, usually and often, sometimes, rarely, and never. So this is a scale from never to always, from 0 to 100. So if you do this, if you do not do something, you never do it. If you do something a lot, you do it always. Remember, when we have frequency words, we talk in the present. We say, Teresa always drives to work in the morning. We do not use this in the past because it has a frequency word, always. So we know to use the present. Teresa always drives. But if we take out always and we say yesterday, let's say yesterday, Teresa drove to work yesterday. But if we have always, because it's always, we write the sentence in the present. Teresa always drives to work. All right, so now let's do the Unit 5 and Unit 6 review. For your homework, I want you to do page 82. I want you to listen to the story and Answer the questions here. You do not need to do this part, but you can if you want. I am going to teach you page 83. On page 83, I'm going to teach you intonation. Intonation is how your voice, is how you talk. Your intonation is if your voice goes up or if your voice goes down when you're talking. And we're going to be talking about intonation in questions. So there are two types of questions. There are the W questions and the yes or no questions. The W questions are who, what, where, when, and why. Like, who are you talking to? What are you doing? Where are you? When did you do the laundry? Why is the sky blue? These questions, your intonation goes down, your voice goes down. Yes or no questions, your intonation or your voice goes up. Like if we ask, is he? Are you? Does he? Do you? Can you? So if we ask, is he working? Is he working? Our voice goes up. Are you working? Does he drive? Do you know him? Can you help me? These questions where the answer is yes or no, our voice goes up. These questions where we're asking who, what, where, when, or why, our voice goes down. This is only for questions. Our voice goes down when we ask questions about the 5 W's. Our voice goes up when we ask any questions that have is, are, does, do, or can. With these questions, our voice goes up. So let's look at this question. This is a where question. So because this question has where, we know our voice will go down. Let's look at the arrow. The arrow is on the last word. Where is the train station? So on station, our voice goes down. Where is the train station? In this question, we have 2 arrows because something that I do not use. Okay, anyways, is the train station on Broadway or on Main Street? Here, the voice goes up and the voice goes down because there are 2 choices because of the word or. Do you want this one or do you want this one? And here, we use our voice to show there are 2 different choices, Broadway or Main Street. Usually, we talk like this with children. We don't really talk like this with adults, with older people. This is more for children, so they understand there's a difference. You can have this one or you can have this one, is what we're saying here. But if you're talking with adults, you can just say, you can use this if you want, but a lot of people just don't. We just say, it's the train station on Broadway or Main Street. It's the train station on Broadway or Main Street. Here, our voice only goes down, and that's okay. Here, it's going up, so it's easier for people to understand that there's a difference here. Is it this one or this one? But in general, with any question with is, the last word, your voice goes down. That's what's important here. Is the train station on Broadway or on Main Street? So let's do this one. How often do you eat at a restaurant? Because how is also a W question. How is a W question. How often do you eat at a restaurant? With or questions, with or questions, we can show a difference. We can show, do you want this one or do you want this one? Do you eat at a restaurant once a week? That's not right. It shouldn't be there. It should be on the word week. Eh. We use the intonation to show the difference, that there are two choices. So your book should look like this. Do you eat at a restaurant once a week or once a month? Once a week or once a month? It's like this. I have a green marker and a pink marker. Do you want the green marker or do you want the pink marker? When we're asking or questions, we like to make them sound a little bit more different. So this goes up and this goes down. Or this goes up and this goes down. The last word or the last choice always goes down. Do you want this one or do you want this one? So let's read these 6 questions and write their intonations. How? How is a W question. So we know that the intonation, your voice, goes down on the last word. How often do you take a vacation? How often do you take a vacation? This question, do. Number 2, the question has do, so we know it's a yes or no question. Do you like to take a vacation in the summer or in the winter? Oh, it's not a do question then because it's an or question. Okay. Or. Because it's an or question, the last word, your voice goes down. The last word is winter. What is the other choice in this question? Well, the other choice in this question is summer. So this one has to go up because this one is the last one and it goes down. Do you like to take a vacation in the summer or in the winter? Number 3, when? This is a when question. When was your last vacation? On vacation, our voice goes down. When was your last vacation? Number 4, where did you go? Our voice goes down on go. Where did you go? Number 5 is an or question. So family is the last word and the last choice. The other choice is alone. So alone has to go up. Did you go alone or with your family? And here, number 6, what did you do there? What did you do there? Now let's write a new question here. I'm going to write one question for you. Do you like apples, oranges, or bananas? Do you like apples, oranges, or bananas? Right now, I'm talking and there is no intonation. My voice does not go up or down. Do you like apples, oranges, or bananas? Okay, so we know this is an or question. And the last choice, your voice goes down. Apples and oranges, they can go up. Everything except for the last one goes up. Do you like apples, oranges, or bananas? If you have any more questions, you can ask me, or you can watch the videos here. But usually, when we have or questions, it's okay if your voice goes up and then back down. But usually, it's for children. Or if you if the choice between them is really important, if the choice between two things is really important, then yeah, we use the intonation. Like, do you want the red car or do you want the blue car? Or do you want to be a doctor or do you want to be a teacher? something where the two choices are very different, and so you want to make sure that the person answering the question understands that this one is different and this one is different. So we say, do you want the pink marker or do you want the green marker?